good, y'all? Fusion here, back with another video. Um, Doc Rivers just got fired this morning from the 76ers. They have won 54 games, during his tenure. And Michael Budenholzer, the coach of the Bucks, he was fired not too long ago, as well as Monty Williams for the Suns, who was let go as well. Now, of course, coaching is very important to having a successful basketball team. That being said, these three coaches could only do so much, in my opinion. The Bucks have been playing well. They were first seed in the East. I believe they have the best record in the NBA. And Giannis got injured. They lost a couple games, and then that made them lose in the first round. I don't know if that is a cause for Mike to be fired. He just got a ring with him 2 years ago. Was it already 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago. So even last year they didn't play as well, but I don't think this was the final straw, in my opinion. I think that the Bucks need I think the Bucks do need some roster cleanup and some roster changes, and I think that would be the most and I think that would help out a lot, but I don't think it is all on the coaching with this instance. Now, with Monty Williams, that Suns team was built for playoff aspirations. Devin Booker, he was playing great in the playoffs. Chris Paul got hurt, but I still believe that Devin Booker and Kevin Durant should have been able to carry that team at least to the conference finals. I've said this multiple times. You strive to be in the conference finals. I think that if you hit the conference finals, I think you have a successful season. That means that you are the top two team in your conference. Not everybody is going to get to the finals. Everybody should strive for the finals and the championship. But realistically, if you get to the conference finals, that means you've had a successful season. Now, if you get to the conference finals 4 times, then that's a different conversation. But if you get to the conference finals like consistently and play well, take it to 6 games, take it to 7 games, have the games close, that's a successful season, in my opinion. But eventually, you will have to get past that point. And I'm saying after 2 or 3 conference finals, that's when we should start having that conversation. And I think that's what's been happening with Monty Williams. I feel like they have been in a position to win games and make a push for that conference finals. They had a chance to win the finals. And some of the blame does have to be on Monty Williams, but I don't think all of it should be on him. I think he should have sat Ayton at some point. You noticed DeAndre Ayton was showing no effort. He was, I feel like, very lazy. He wasn't really taking it to Jokic, which I think would be like the only way to really stop Jokic is to make him run, be physical with him, push him. And he's a strong big guy as well, but he's not that athletic. So if DeAndre Ayton can and should be able to out athletic somebody, that should have been your time to be better than that. He was getting out rebounded offensively and defensively on those boards, and it just felt like he was just getting eaten up out there. So I think that was a coaching error because at some point the coach is going to have to call out the player. I think that's the main point of a coach, is to make the team better by being an outside force. So, in my opinion, once it comes to those outside forces and the coaching staff, you need to be able to make those adjustments, and your players need to support that adjustment. And it seemed like Monty Williams didn't want to make that call and make that adjustment after 3 or 4 games of a clear skill difference between Ayton and Jokic. A clear skill difference. You should have been able to call that out. And because of that, you lost. And now you're fired. Now, Mr. Doc Rivers. I believe he's going to get picked up at some point. Yeah, so this is his 3rd straight exit in the 2nd round. I don't think that's his fault all the way. I do think he's not. I think he's a solid coach. He's not as great as I feel like he has been touted out to be. But he's a great coach. And I could see him either getting picked up or going to NBA TV or inside the NBA. I would definitely love him to go on inside and tell some of his stories, because he's coached and played with a lot of GOATs and great players. So I think that'd be interesting. And yeah. When are we going to call out Joel Embiid? When will we call out Joel Embiid? He has been the issue. He has been the issue. He has not showed up. He has not been able to push past the 2nd round. He has not been able to be a conference champion. He is just not there. And for some reason, no one is calling him out for it as much as they should. This is 3 times, bro. I could see, again, you need to be able to get to that point after you've won an MVP. You have been at an MVP level as far as in the regular season for the past 3, maybe 4 years. Injuries did sort of count you out of those like discussions, I think. But, you know, there are times where I just feel like you're just not wanting to play or not showing like the effort to really win games. Because this is your team. You know that James Harden is only going to play maybe 2 or 3 games in the series, and then you got to do the rest. Tyrese Maxey is your second option. He should be the one getting most of the shots when you aren't hitting. And it seems like you weren't hitting once you got that MVP trophy. This was a very important game for him, for Joel Embiid, because this is the Celtics. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, Al Horford. He was getting locked up by Al Horford, bro. That nigga's old, bro. He shouldn't be locking you up. That should be easy cake, easy chicken, easy money. Because you have post game, you have a great jump shot. I felt like you didn't take enough shots. I feel like James Harden was overpassing to try to force you to get shots, and you didn't take those shots. I think that's what happened, and I don't think that's on Doc. Last season, I think that was when Ben Simmons left. I don't think that was on Doc. I did think Doc did call him out in that press conference for him not taking that layup. and him not being the championship, like you can't win a championship with that type of point guard or whatever statement that he did. I did think that was sort of a low blow, but that's what you would want. And then you would think that would mean that Ben Simmons will have to prove that, oh yeah, I am that guy, or have some sort of conversation. But it seems like he didn't. And again, it's not all on the players. Like so there was some things that Doc did that I felt like wasn't correct. You could have told them, hey, run it through Tyrese Maxey right now, pause. Or stop taking threes, especially because they were not falling in that game. Change up the plays. Like you noticed that Joel Embiid was not playing well. He is the type of player that you could just take him out of the game and then he will internalize that and then go back in there and play better. He's one of those guys. I feel like he has that edge to be great. You just need to pull it out of him sometimes. And I think Doc didn't do that. So here's like the article from NBA.com here. Daryl Morey was talking about stuff here. We're grateful for all he did in his 3 seasons here and thank him for the important impact he made on our franchise. After having the chance to reflect upon our season, we decided that certain changes are necessary to further our goal of competing for a championship. You will never win a championship if you have James Harden on your team. You will never win a championship if you have James Harden in your team. On your team. And sooner or later, Joel Embiid is going to get tired of this, and he's going to leave. Daryl Morey, he had a few chances to quote-unquote trust this process. You know, there were times where they could have scored some big-name players or surround Joel Embiid with better shooters and more consistent shooters. I'm talking to you, Tobias Harris. There were times where things could have been cleaned up for him to be better. But I think he maybe got 1 or 2 more years with Joel Embiid, if that. And that will not be on Doc Rivers. That will be on you. So look, all I'm saying is I do think that Doc Rivers did have an impact on why they lost, but I don't think you should blame them for that. Now, there's a couple names that could be thrown into that basket for their next coach, and I think it is important for a coach that will be taking over this team to be able to handle a big personality as well as handling an MVP. So I can see Mike Budenholzer fitting in there, almost forcing Joel Embiid to adapt and learn how to play better with him. I think that Mike Budenholzer adds a lot of like restraint to his teams. Not Mike D'Antoni. I don't think that's going to work. I think Nick Nurse would be interesting. Frank Vogel, that could be a possibility. I think a lot of players will respect Frank Vogel for winning that championship in the bubble. Monty Williams as well. He has coached some great players in the Suns. He has brought the Suns from a poverty franchise to a title, well, was a title contender. So that is on his resume as well. So you can throw those names out there. Sam Cassell as well. Rockets legend. Top 3 ugliest player in the NBA. So yeah, those are just a couple of names. But what are your thoughts on it? What do you guys think about the coach being the scapegoat? I feel like as of late, it has been a lot of coaches and Kyrie Irving being the scapegoat, and I don't think that's fair, personally. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.